In the spring of 1900, sponge divers from the tiny Greek island of Symi set sail into the Aegean, chasing, the seasonal harvest of the sea. Storms forced them to anchor off the rugged coast of Antikythera, a place few visited. Diving into the depths near the cliffs, they expected sponges. Instead, they surfaced with tales of a ghostly scene beneath the waves, bronze statues, marble torsos, amphorae and wreckage strewn across the seabed. The Greek authorities were alerted, and soon the world would learn of one of the most remarkable archaeological finds of the 20th century. Yet among the treasures recovered from that ancient shipwreck was something stranger than art or gold. A corroded mass of bronze gears and dials fused into a green encrustation. At first it seemed nothing more than debris. Decades later, it would reveal itself as the most complex piece of engineering to survive from the ancient world, the Antikythera Mechanism, a device so sophisticated it would rewrite the history of technology. The wreck lay 50 meters down, dating to the late 1st or early 2nd century BCE. It was likely a massive grain or luxury cargo ship travelling from the eastern Mediterranean toward Rome, laden with Greek sculptures, fine glassware, and goods meant for elite Roman patrons. The sea had entombed its cargo for 2 millennia. Among the retrieved artifacts was the curious lump of bronze and wood that nobody could quite identify. In 1902, archaeologist Valerios Stias examined the pieces and noticed something astonishing. Embedded in the corroded mass were precision-cut gear teeth. This was no simple ornament, it was a machine. For decades, the mechanism was, an enigma. It rested quietly in the National Archaeological Museum of Athens, studied now and then, but really, no one had the proper tools to probe its secrets. Early scholars tossed around the idea that it might be an astronomical clock, though, honestly, that seemed rather far-fetched at the time. Ancient Greece, after all, was celebrated for philosophy, art and architecture, but nothing in the surviving record hinted at metal gearing of such astonishing precision. The Industrial Revolution was, about 2,000 years in the future, so how on earth could such a thing exist in the age of togas and triremes? The breakthrough, as it happens, came in the middle of the 20th century, when physicist and historian Derek de Solla Price began a systematic study of the fragments. Using X-ray imaging, he carefully mapped the internal gears, revealing a level of complexity that, frankly, no one had imagined before. By 1974, Price concluded that the device was an astronomical calculator, capable of predicting the positions of the sun and moon, the phases of the moon, and possibly even eclipses. He called it, like a great astronomical clock, or like a modern analog computer. The Antikythera mechanism, he argued, was the product of a highly advanced tradition of mechanical engineering that had otherwise vanished from the historical record. The device was housed in a wooden case, roughly the size of a shoebox and operated by a hand crank. Inside, at least 30 meshing bronze gears transferred motion to various dials. The front displayed the zodiac and the Egyptian calendar, while rotating pointers indicated the positions of celestial bodies. On the back were spiral dials tracking the metonic cycle of 19 years, crucial for harmonizing lunar and solar calendars, and the Saros cycle, which was used to predict eclipses. Inscriptions on the plates acted as a kind of user manual, explaining the settings and readouts. What stunned researchers was not just what it could do, but how finely it was made. The gear teeth were cut with a precision comparable to 18th century clockwork. Modern imaging has refined our understanding further. In 2005, advanced CT scanning and high-resolution surface imaging revealed previously unreadable inscriptions and hidden components. These showed that the mechanism also predicted the timing of Pan-Hellenic games, including the Olympics, and possibly modelled the motions of the 5 known planets: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, according to Greek astronomical theories. Each planet followed a complex path, represented by epicyclic gearing, a design thought to have been lost until medieval Europe. The origins of the mechanism remain a subject of debate. Its sophistication suggests it was not a one-off experiment, but part of a tradition of craftsmanship. Some scholars connect it to the school of Archimedes in Syracuse, where mechanical devices for astronomy were known in theory. Others link it to Rhodes, home of the astronomer Hipparchus, whose work on lunar motion matches the device's calculations. It is tempting to imagine a workshop where philosopher-engineers combined mathematics with the finest metalwork, producing instruments for wealthy patrons or navigators. What makes the Antikythera mechanism so extraordinary is the historical silence that surrounds it. No other devices of comparable complexity survive from antiquity. The literary record has tantalizing hints. Cicero describes a mechanical sphere made by Archimedes that could reproduce the motions of the heavens, but until the Antikythera discovery, such accounts were often dismissed as exaggeration. The mechanism forces a reconsideration. If such technology existed, how widespread was it? Was it the closely guarded property of a few, lost when workshops were destroyed and knowledge scattered by war? Did the Romans, conquerors of Greece, see little value in preserving delicate astronomical devices compared to enduring stone monuments? Its loss is almost as mysterious as its survival. After the shipwreck, 2,000 years of Mediterranean currents, storms and salt water battered the remains. That any part of it endured is a miracle of circumstance. Wood rotted, bronze corroded, but the ship sank quickly enough and deep enough to avoid complete destruction. The incrustation that fused the gears together also preserved them, sealing them in a mineral tomb until human eyes found them again. Today, the Antikythera mechanism is more than an archaeological marvel. It is a symbol of human ingenuity that defies our neat timelines of technological progress. It shows that the ancient world's thinkers were not simply philosophers gazing at the heavens, but engineers who sought to recreate its patterns in miniature, mastering metal, mathematics and motion. The device embodies a unity of science and craftsmanship that feels startlingly modern. In the museum in Athens, the fragments sit under glass, their corroded surfaces hiding the elegance of their original form. Nearby, a reconstruction gleams with polished bronze gears, each tooth cut to match the ancient design. Turning the crank, you can watch the sun and moon circle the dials, eclipses slide into alignment, and ancient dates click into place. It is a ghost of a lost technology, spinning again after 2 millennia of silence. The mystery endures. Who commissioned it? How many existed? Was it built by a lone genius or a school of mechanicians? The sea gave us only one, and with it, questions that may never be answered. Yet in those questions lies the fascination. The Antikythera mechanism is a reminder that history is not a straight road from primitive to advanced, but a web of discoveries, many of them fragile, many of them lost, waiting for a chance encounter between a diver, a storm, and the depths.